thing. We should probably talk the Boosie thing right now. This is kind of crazy, people. This is very crazy. So, I apologize for that. Drink a little bit more liquor. You're a Drake, man. Can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning. Okay, so we got the sealed indictment here. So remember, I was like really going crazy trying to find it. We got it. We got the sealed indictment, and we have a lot more details about what's going on in this case. Okay, come on now. There we go. Let me see. There we go, just like that. And then there we go, just like this. Okay. So, we got the full indictment, and the full indictment that's actually under sealed. You'll see sealed right here is here. This is the complaint that was issued and lodged against Boosie. I think I may have read some of this, but it was probably from like an abridged document because this was sealed until like 2 days ago. So anyway, I mean, we pretty much covered all this, and I think I kind of showed you some of this stuff, right? Yeah. So basically, because I don't want to bore you guys with the long details. They start off by saying, and again, this is how they kind of write a probable cause, complaint. Again, remember, this is a probable cause complaint. It's not necessarily like an indictment by grand jury, if you know the difference. Anyway, May 6th, some police officer was conducting an intelligence gathering. This is what the FEDS is calling using Instagram, intelligence gathering. This is why we see these tough guys on Instagram going crazy. Like, you know what I mean? According to everybody, Vlad is the cops. They say I'll be a little bit fetty too. You know what I mean? They're like, yeah, sometimes acts the feds. My nigga, you are on Instagram, you are already basically in front of the precinct, okay? Officer viewed a publicly available Instagram. Let's see. Whatever. This, whatever. Seen the gun. They showed the exhibit, blah, blah. Upon review, so they was looking at one guy's Instagram, which is this guy. They seen Boosie in it. They see a gun in his pocket. They said the user even tagged Boosie in it. Like, come on now. Like, you got to make the cops job easier for them. They see a guy in the video. Remember, they're on Instagram investigating. Feet up, eating Dunkin' Donuts, drinking a latte. They don't have to go in the field. They're like, see what's going on in the streets today. Don't even got to leave the fucking office. They see a nigga, they say, wait, is that gun legal? This nigga got a gun in his pocket. They're like, who the fuck is that? Now, they might not be so familiar with Boosie Boo. They might not be on Vlad TV all the time, right? Of course, the guy they're watching tags the nigga. Oh, in case I was wondering who has a gun right over there, his name is Mama Go Live, or Mama He Live Again 2.0. So the police basically show you, it's kind of like how we saw the takeoff like case. It's like people snitch on themselves online. So the nigga tagged Boosie. It says he goes to Boosie's profile. He recognized the guy as Little Boosie. Then he said Boosie had a live story currently taking place. They watched it. They recorded it. They know how to use screen record, right? It's not only a bitch that know how to record your shit when you wilding out in the club and she not there. The cops know how to screen record. Officer notice. And by the way, these guys gave away their location. They got the street sign in the background, the 49th street sign in the background. And an unknown male exclaimed that they were live on the streets of San Diego. Come on now. We in San Diego, we on 49th, and we are live. I mean, fuck it. Like, just do the cops' job, right? Now, clearly, like, when people are doing this shit, they're not thinking about the cops. They're thinking about proving that they're tough or they're in the streets. However, the cops is looking at it like we never have to leave. Anyway, it says they're informed. They said it was informed by San Diego police that the area between 49th Street and Guyman Street in San Diego is associated with the neighborhood Crip gang. Holy, sound pretty serious. Is that the Rolling 60s? I remember Nipsey said he was a neighborhood Crip or whatever. Okay. And so we looked at it. So after we reviewed Instagram profiles, they requested an airborne law enforcement unit. So they flew over the shit, Okay, great. 3 p.m. based on the description provided by the SDPD. They located him in a car. They got him out. This was a license plate. It was a Mercedes-Benz SUV. It said the driver was talking on his cell phone. Yo, look. Observe the driver talking on his cell phone while driving. You know you're fucking lying, but come on. Anything to pull him over. Then they observed the driver of the same Mercedes failing to stop at a red stop sign while making a westbound turn. Cap again, but you know they want to put him over. Aerial surveillance revealed that the Mercedes did not stop anywhere from the time it departed from 49th Street until it was stopped by the police. They tried to conduct a traffic stop, but the vehicle failed to yield and continued westbound on Market Street. The vehicle continued to drive slowly, blah, 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 for approximately 1 block before coming to a complete stop. Prior to blah, 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 da, 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 I was informed that in their experience, when individuals who continue to drive at a slow rate of speed while police are attempting to conduct a traffic stop, they may be trying to attempt to conceal some firearms or contraband. After they stopped, upon approaching the vehicle, officer observed 3 males in the vehicle. There was a driver and 2 occupants. The rear side occupant was identified as Mr. Hatch. Mr. Hatch is Boosie. Identified the other occupants in the rear seat as his security. Based on the officer's observation, while attempting to pull over the Mercedes, and for safety purposes, they asked the occupants if there were any weapons in the car. Hatch claimed he ain't got no weapons, but he said security did. When asked where was the weapons located, security pointed down towards the right side of his body. Officers observed the security guard had a black satchel worn across his upper body. Okay. Officers asked Hatch and the driver to step out of the vehicle and placed both Hatch and the driver in handcuffs. During the search of the black satchel worn by the security officer, located a black and purple HS product model Hellcat 9mm caliber, wearing this serial number. A magazine contains 7 rounds of 9mm caliber inserted into a magazine well of the firearm. Blah, blah. Okay, cool. During the search, they located another firearm, a black Glock model 19. Glock 19. That's a good carry. Good carry gun. It's not too small in case you got big hands like I got big hands. But it's not it's not like a 45, which is it's hard to conceal. Anyway, 9mm bearing, blah blah, and the magazine contained 9 rounds. Okay. The firearm was located on the rear passenger seat where the security guard and Hatch were seated. Holy, boys are doing their thing. The firearm was in close proximity of all 3 individuals inside the vehicle. Furthermore, a Glock gun box was located on the rear floorboard on the rear driver's side. Officers also located a suspected marijuana joint in the center console of the vehicle. Hatch, the security guard, and driver were placed on arrest for multiple firearms violation. During the search incident to the arrest of Hatch, officers located multiple stacks of cash in his left pocket, totaling to about $16,000, 854. And by the way, he probably got that from doing that video. He probably just pulled up. They gave him that money, or maybe it'd be a backhand or something like that. And they located a cell phone in his right pants pocket. All 3 occupants of the Mercedes were transported to San Diego Police Department headquarters for further processing. During the processing, Hatch yelled at the security and asked why the security told the detective the gun was on the seat. SPD officers heard Hatch tell the security, "You told me they were in the bag." The statement demonstrated Hatch's knowledge of the firearms in the Mercedes. Following the arrest of Hatch, I reviewed several YouTube videos. Oh, perfect. Again, do all your investigation on YouTube and Instagram. YouTube regarding Hatch on the day of the arrest, including a video on the channel Hood Zone Productions. Okay, that sounds like a pretty, positive channel, Hood Zone Productions. The videos were filmed prior to Hatch's arrest by the San Diego Police Department. The videos consist of Hatch filming himself while smoking a suspected marijuana joint, as well as videos of Hatch being filmed while the firearm is in his rear waistband. Hatch is seen filming himself and other unidentified individuals saying "neighborhood" repeatedly and making hand gestures that looks like hieroglyphics, but they were doing it towards the camera. Based on my training experience, these hand gestures are gang signs associated with specific gang affiliations. This is Boosie's record. I thought Boosie had like a murder on his record, or he was on death row. They only list this as his preliminary record checks that reveal that Boosie has the following criminal history. He got 5 years for bringing illegal contraband, blah, blah, and criminal conspiracy to incite a felony, and also possession of a controlled substance with intent to distribute. Okay. Firearm, blah, 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 blah. Examination of firearm reveals it to be the same weapon pictured in Hatch's rear waistband, blah, blah, blah. Okay. All right. So, my bad if that was a little bit, mundane, but because I hate, like, this court stuff is kind of, like, diluting, like, really commentary because I'm just reading court documents constantly. Hate that. I will say this, though. So, Boosie went to jail for this, right? He got a $50,000 bond. I could kind of pull that up if you guys need to, but he got granted a $50,000 bond with no travel restrictions, and he was allowed to travel anywhere for work, right? Which pretty much he's only traveling around the United States for work. Now, I'm going to explain why Boosie's still locked up. So when you get arrested, and at least how it works in federal court, you get arrested, you immediately go in front of a judge to kind of get arraigned for whatever charges you're getting charged with. But that judge usually deals with the issue of will you be detained or not, or granted bond. That judge is usually, the first judge you see is called a magistrate judge. So the magistrate judge is like the judge who usually, like, you got locked up, next day you go and see the judge, you're not seeing your trial judge. You get what I mean? You see a magistrate judge that kind of like works with the, sometimes it's a district judge. And essentially he got granted a $50,000 bond. The feds, I think they got some other shit going on with Boosie, or there's no way they think Boosie's like some fucking, he's going around just killing people. Or, I don't know, maybe they do think he's doing that. But the feds got upset that he got a bond, period, and then they put a motion in to appeal the bond, but they also put a motion for a stay order, which is basically don't release him until the appeal is heard, which it's the appeal for bond. So again, usually the government don't appeal a bond. Like if somebody gets arrested and it gets $1,000 bond, somebody say, is this a real government document? Yes, my nigga. Yes, this is the case number. Yes. Usually the government and they're merging different cases with this Boosie case. It looks like they have other things up their sleeves, so for whatever reason they don't want to get him released. So I'm going to show you the document. This is a document, here we go. This is the document that they filed, and it was a motion to revoke the release order. So the release order is basically, he could get out on $50,000 bond. The prosecutors or the feds basically said, no, we want to keep him detained. Now, reading through here, we're going to get some really interesting details. Not only are the feds tapped in, it's clear the feds are fans of Boosie. The feds cite interviews he did within the last week. They are very current on what he got going on in his life. So anyway, let me just read. And by the way, interesting here, they cite a video from one of his interviews that he dropped that week, with him and Math Hoffa. And they basically said, look what he said over there. He basically is lying about him not having that gun. Part here. Here we go. Okay. Officers found a firearm on the rear passenger seat between Boosie and a security guard. The firearm was loaded and matched the description from the Instagram live video. Hatch claimed the firearms belonged to a security guard, but Hatch's prior statements revealed that this was a well-thought-out plan to arm himself, then hide the truth from law enforcement. In Exhibit 1A, clip of a podcast episode. Holy. In Exhibit 1A, clip of a podcast episode that was provided to the court and played during the detention hearing, Hatch provides a response to what happens if he's pulled over and police find a weapon in the vehicle. Hatch explains, this happens plenty of times, and another occupant in the vehicle will say it's his gun when they come to the car. That's what they do. The defendant's statements while in custody here indicate that that's his plan to lay blame on the hands of someone else for the firearm. In this instance, it was a security guard. Exhibit 2A, clip of Hatch's statements and blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. All right. Yeah. Okay, show. Boosie. Hoffa. Let's see. Boosie went on Math Hoffa show, and salute to Math Hoffa, by the way.
You can't keep it real in every situation.
Boosie say keep it real in every situation.
Bro, this shit is, bro, I'm an open book, bro.
So
like, this shit ain't scripted, bro. Did I come in here and tell you can't ask me that?
No, not at all.
I'm an open book, bro.
And we asked that question.
So you say you just keep it 100 all the time?
Bro, I don't go on an interview and say, don't do this. Nigga, I'm an open book. Well, you know what I get paid to do? Podcasts, bro. I'm doing this shit as my run.
Right.
When I sit on a fucking couch, bro, and give this shit, I get real money, bro.
Right.
Like, this shit ain't,
But
like,
I'm saying, but you can't keep
this
it
a
real
part of
in
my
every
hustle now.
So
I sit on the couch and get paid what niggas do an hour show for, bro.
Right. So you get pulled over, right?
Yeah.
Cops find the weapon. Who
Yeah.
gun is this?
Yeah. What happened?
You keep it real in that situation too?
What you mean if the cops find the weapon?
Yeah, if they find a weapon, it's like 5 of y'all on the whip. It ain't yours.
This shit done happened plenty of times.
Yeah,
my
it
boy
happened a few
gonna
times.
say that's his guns when they come to the car. Yeah, that's what they do.
They always
That's
pull
what you have the youngest person in the clique for all the time around you. You know, people do that 7 different times in the clique. Who's never not convicted, they just, you know, take the charge for the pistol.
All right, crazy. As I said, I expect Boosie to slow down. Also, I expect, Math Hoffa. I think he's a street dude, right? I don't think he's trying to ask questions to jam people up, but I do think it's very important. And by the way, I'm not getting at Math Hoffa at all. Let me tell everybody, I don't care. Sometimes people like to nitpick and like to pick on people, especially in the media, who they believe they could pick on, right? So if it's like a Vlad, you're like, yeah, he's a cop. Or like it's an Akademiks, he's a cop or whatever, right? If you are an interviewer, there is no cool street way to ask questions, my nigga. Like there is, again, if you are a street dude and you ever ask a nigga about criminal shit, you're just like Vlad and everybody else. Like it's, again, the nature of being in media, nobody's trying to get nobody jammed up. And you're hoping that people are smart enough to possibly not say things that's going to fuck them up. You get what I mean? But I'm glad that people like Math Hoffa are on the journalist side now because he gets to realize how hard of a job. Again, I don't think he was asking that question to trick Boosie into anything like that, but he's probably hoping that Boosie's not going to say some shit that would probably use against him later in court. He did. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay.